Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports YouTube channel. On today's episode, we're going to continue our NBA season previews, going through each and every team, and we're going to talk today about the Orlando Magic. Let us know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on the Magic season coming up and some of your predictions. Clint, let's go ahead and preview their season. Before we get to their season, let's just talk a little bit about what they did last season, some of the moves. They were 41-41 last year. They re-signed Paolo. They traded for Desmond Bane, and they signed Tyus Jones. They lost Anthony, Caldwell Pope, and that's about it, all the important ones. So, Clint, would you say, the Orlando Magic's strength, or what are you most looking forward to going into the season with the Magic?
Strengths has to be offense. No, this is one of those incredible defensive teams, especially if Suggs, and it sounds like he's cleared to play in the opener. So with Suggs, Bane, Wagner, Banchero, Carter, that's a really good defensive team. Even if you put in Jonathan Isaac or Mo Wagner when he comes back. So I think that the baseline of this team has been and will be defense.
Yeah, 100% agree. Anthony Black, too. Shout out him. I think he's a pretty solid defender. I think it was his rookie year last year, so I expect that to get better. But he did play pretty good defense last year. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's their biggest strength. And I'll just add something I'm kind of looking forward to, which could be a strength, is just the addition of Tyus Jones and especially Desmond Bane. The shooting. They needed shooting. They added two guys to help with the shooting. So I'm curious to see how that is going to work out. So that's something I'm looking forward to on top of their strength on their defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that's definitely an area they got to improve on.
Yeah. So speaking of, let's talk about their weakness. What is their weakness going into the season?
It's still got to be their offense. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen, to a degree, Banchero and Wagner have made improvements, but we haven't seen it space out to consistent shooting of threes.
Right.
And that in the regular season doesn't hurt them too much because you can kind of skirt by on some of those things. But as we've seen in the playoffs, when the floor cramps in and teams intensify, it's really hard to just totally rely on your defense. So even with Bane in there, I still think their weakness is shooting. Like, Desmond Bane is a better shooter, but he's got to get we talked about it last year with KCP.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get the attempts up. I think he shot 6 threes a game last year. Like, that has to go up. I think his high was like 8.5 2 years ago in Memphis. It's got to get to that 8, 9, 10 level to feel the impact. If you're only going to get up 6, KCP got up 7 last year. So he's got to get that number up in order to kind of provide that extra spacing. And I think that's, like an underlying where we see Bane, he's an improvement definitely. But if you don't shoot him, that spacing, that effect is kind of minimized.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I'm going to say, like, I still think, even though with the addition of Jones and Bane, shooting is the big weakness. And so I'm with you on that. None of their starters last year that they have starting along with Bane shot over 32% from three. All of them under 32%. Isaac under 32%. Anthony Black under 32%. So these are some of the guys you're expecting big minutes from. Just having one shooter on the court is not going to provide the spacing you need, and it's not going to improve your shooting a ton. So you need these guys to step up, whether it's Wagner or Paulo or Suggs, to get to the point where they're shooting 35 or better from the three-point line, because otherwise this might be an experiment that might need to be separated because you just can't have that much lack of floor spacing. I thought Carter was a solid three-point shooting center. He shot 23% from three last year. And I'm like, what is going on? But anyway, so yeah, that's a struggle for them.
Yeah, I think just besides just flat percentage, it's volume too. In today's NBA, unless you're the Oklahoma City Thunder
Sure.
or even Houston, like you watch that game. I think OKC, well, it's double overtime. They still got up over 43s. You just got to get that number up to get the variance involved and to kind of um, extend those numbers out, play that math game.
Yeah, it's I guess it's like hard because like you're right, but also like if you can't shoot, you just can't shoot. Like Suggs, 2 years ago he shot 39% from three. He only shot five a game. Last year he shot six a game, almost seven, and he went down to 31. So it's like, well, that's not good. Now your percentage is going down. So it might not have been good shots. He only played 35 games last year, so they had a lot of injuries last year. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I just they have to, I guess my thought if you shoot five a game and you make three of them or two or three of them, oh great, because you're at like that number you need to be at. But yeah, I'm with you. They need to find shooting and then they need to shoot. So Jet Howard, any hope that he becomes something? Because he was supposed to be a shooter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah. I don't know.
30% last year.
It's just hard to get some of these guys into the rotation.
Yeah,
Same with
that's
like Jace Richardson or whatever. Like where's your line of continuing to be young with we got to be good.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Big question. What's your biggest question for the Magic going into the season?
I think it's Franz Wagner.
Mm,
He's a really good basketball player, but that shot, the last couple of years he's got the hitch, and then it doesn't look as bad in preseason from what some of the games that he played, but in order for them, I think, to reach their ultimate potential, he's got to be better than a 30% three-point shooter.
100%. Mm-hmm.
Banchero the same, but you can get away with one of these two not being a shooter, but one of them has to. One of them has to be good enough in order to beat some of these elite teams. And I think Wagner is most likely got to be that guy to space out the floor. So I think a lot of it falls on him being a consistent 35, 36, 37, 38% three-point shooter on a good enough volume. Again, sometimes, we see some of these stats where they're like a 38% shooter and you're like, it's on 2.8 a game, right? But like, are you really that good? Or is it just because you only take three a game and you had a stretch where you hit five in a row? So I think, again, him becoming a semi-decent volume three-point shooter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the question I have. I kind of put it like, will Paulo and Franz, is that going to work? I think that's the question that I have going into the season. Like, is this tandem going to be a tandem you can build a team around and win? And I think you hit the main point though. One of them has to. It'd be great if both of them could shoot like 35% and above from three. Really 38%. If one of them can get to 38%, that's sort of the sweet spot. But even if they both can shoot like 35, 36%, at least that's something, right? You can't be shooting 30% from three. And I think that's like the big question. Not only do I have, but I think will get answered this season. And then if it doesn't work out, are you willing to do the move that you might have to do in order to get the pieces around Paulo that you need? Because I think that's the main building block that they want to build around.
Yeah, very true.
What in your mind would be a successful season for the Magic?
This is another team that, based on the East, should be pretty high up in the standings. This is another team that's probably got to be a second round to consider it successful this year. Again, they're young, so they have a bit of a runway, able to make some moves to a lesser extent than some of the other teams. But if you're not going to do it this year, when are we going to do it? Again, we've mentioned it for all these Eastern Conference teams. When you have the Pacers, you have the Celtics pretty much out of contention this year, if this is your year, you're going to make a run. Yeah, it's kind of that open window. So for them, they got to get out of the first round this year.
Okay. I sort of agree with that. I think just more so is just finding more consistent shooting on the roster. I think you mentioned that there's still young guys on this roster, so they can develop into good shooters. If they get knocked out of the first round, but like let's say Suggs got up this 36 and Franz is looking great at a way better shooter, and Paolo's up to 35% and Black's getting up to 36%. And it's like it looks like something you can have success with, and that they will take logically, then you think next year they'll get a little bit better, even like by a percentage point or whatever. I think that would be success too, because like what you need to know is like, can you build around these guys, Paolo and Franz, and if you get that shooting from them and around them, you absolutely can. So I think that would be a successful season for them as well. And maybe even, I guess in my mind, it might be a little bit more successful than even getting out of the second round, because like my thought is, well, what if you happen to play the Knicks in the first round? Like, what if you play the Cavs in the first round, which is very possible if you're the sixth and they're the third seed or something like that. So, or if you lose to Giannis and a top 3 player in the league in the first round, it's just like. So I see the Magic's success being more on the development of the shooting around Paolo and Franz and their shooting as well.
Yeah, for sure. If they can get 2 of these guys up there, it goes a long way.
Yeah, okay, and it can mean future success too beyond this season. Prediction.
So I have the Magic as a playoff team.
Me too. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anything else for about the? Anything else for the Magic? On the Magic?
Nope. Just I think it really revolves around all that we talked about. It still revolves around Jalen Suggs being healthy. They really lost a lot. I know Tyus Jones will help with that, but he's very limited size wise, and doesn't perfectly fit. He's not really a starting point guard anymore. We saw that kind of with Phoenix. So
yes, yeah,
they need Suggs to get that 55, 60, 65 games to really see what they have.
Yeah, I agree. I would be kind of curious if Suggs ended up like getting hurt for a little bit, how the Jones Bane like having 2 shooters out there would look, But I'm with you. I don't know if that would produce much success, just because we saw it with Jones last year, and yeah. I love Suggs too. So anyway, okay, man. Thanks everyone for watching. Once again, let us know in the comments down below how you feel about the Magic's upcoming season. What are some of your predictions? Don't forget to like the channel and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.